You know, there are two things your average Sunday school member never wants to hear. Depart from me, I never knew you. And only slightly less frightening, hey, it's your turn to go visiting this week. Yeah, I felt like that for years. Oh, it's not that I didn't want to see people come to the Lord. It's just, well, it was hard enough for me to talk to people about the weather, much less about eternal life. And visiting people I didn't know, well, I mean, what if I was standing too close when they slammed the door in my face and broke my nose? Or what if I got dragged into some deep theological argument and ended up becoming a Buddhist or something? But God has this way of not letting you off the hook. He kept reminding me of this little thing called the Great Commission. You know, go and make disciples of all nations. And then one Sunday, at the end of Sunday school, our teacher told us about this new evangelistic training called faith. And he asked how many people in the class wanted to sign up for the training. Well, I was just about to make my customary quick exit to the choir room when practically the whole class volunteered. Of course, being the humble servant that I am, and after checking to see how many people were watching me, I graciously lifted my hand and signed up. Besides, who wants to look like the only one that doesn't care about the eternal destiny of the human race? That was 16 weeks ago.
Each of us in the class was put into teams of 3 to visit people in our age group who had had some contact with the church. I always wondered if God had a sense of humor. Now I was convinced of it. Why else would I have ended up on this team? Was he trying to teach me a lesson? Andrew was our team leader. He was a biblical know-it-all, and he'd talk your ear off if he got half a chance. He probably assumed he'd be the leader all along. But we'd been together for a couple of weeks now, and he hadn't put me down yet. Maybe he wasn't so bad after all. And Myra? Well, if she went into her shell anymore, her head would disappear. There was at least one woman on every team so that any woman you were visiting would feel more comfortable. But when you looked at Myra, the word comfort wasn't exactly what came to mind. And this guy we were supposed to visit, everybody at church kept passing this form around like it was a hand grenade that had just had the pin pulled. What did that mean? I had this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach that we might never be heard from again.
I don't feel good about this. We should have known something was wrong when it was the last name left on the table. Didn't you hear what everybody else was saying?
That's right. I heard Darcy say that some people from another church tried to visit here once, and no one has seen them since.
Oh, Myra. Bates, Tony Bates. That name, it sounds familiar.
They say his middle name is Norman.
That's it, Tony Norman Bates. Norman Bates, the motel manager in Psycho, the Hitchcock movie?
That's right.
Yeah, Tony's short for Anthony. And who played Norman Bates in the movie? Anthony Perkins. Anthony Norman Bates.
And perhaps he managed a motel too.
Yeah. Do we know that? We don't, do we? You know, Andrew, we really should know more about these people before we just walk up and invite ourselves into who knows what.
George, the reason we're here is to find out more about them. I can't believe you're acting like this.
Andrew, the whole house is dark except for that one room at the end and the basement window. Oh, look, look. Is that a shadow?
George.
They probably got some old insane grandmother locked up in there somewhere everybody else thinks is dead.
George!
Maybe those missing church people are buried in the basement.
Will you two please stop?
Andrew, don't you think it's just a little bit strange? Nobody seems to know much about these people. Maybe there's a reason?
Well, of course there's a reason.
Aha!
The reason nobody knows much about them is because nobody's cared enough to find out. Now, please, please, let's just put these childish rumors to bed and go meet these people.
I care.
So do I.
We're supposed to be a team. Now, come on. Come on.
Ladies first. Andrew! Digging! Well, I guess there's no one home.
Wait. I hear someone coming.